I would agree. There is a connection between population and carbon emission. Studies also indicate that on a per capita basis, a person in a developed country produces 10 times more carbon emission than in a developing country. That is one of the findings, as one of the basis also for my authorship of the Climate Change Act of 2009. Is that a data that is acceptable to the distinguished sponsor? 10 times more.
Yes.
And the reason for that is that there's more factories, there's more cars on a per capita basis. In fact, cars, transportation account for a major component of carbon emission. Would that be a correct statement, distinguished sponsor?
As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, so far as the United States is concerned, they are producing 12 cubic per capita figure of 12 when compared to the Philippines, which has only 1.5 tons per capita.
That's
China.
Yeah, that's the one. Now, Mr. Speaker, distinguished sponsors, if we are again to connect population with carbon emissions, and if we would like to reduce the total carbon emission level globally, we should address the developed countries. Is that not correct?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
And since they account for 80% of the carbon emissions, any reduction in the carbon emissions of the developed countries would have an 80% impact on the total carbon emissions of the entire planet. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
So following the Pareto principle, that is the place that we should address. Not the Philippines, not Indonesia, not developing countries, because they are the ones who are responsible over the decades for all these carbon emissions, at least 80% of all the carbon emissions.
That is correct, Madam Speaker. In fact, the developed countries accepted this already.
Thank you. So if we are again to connect population with carbon emissions, if we want to reduce carbon emissions by a major impact, by a major component, either we reduce their carbon emission, which is going to be very difficult because it would mean a change in their lifestyle, less cars, less use of cars, or a change in the industrial capability. In fact, that's the reason for the very intensive debate. Is that not correct? The developed countries are not just willing to change their lifestyle. They're not willing, for example, in the case of China, they're not willing to slow down their industrial development. Is that not correct?
That is very correct, Madam Speaker.
So if we are again to relate carbon emissions to population, maybe a better solution is to reduce the population further by maybe 20%. Do you think that's doable? Because if we reduce the population of the Philippines, the impact is not even 1%, or even a fraction of a percent. The problem is in the developed countries like Western Europe, United States, Japan, China. You think it's doable that they can reduce the population by 5%, 10% in order to reduce their total carbon emissions? May I know the opinion of the distinguished sponsor? We have to relate population with carbon emission.
Madam Speaker, in so far as this presentation is concerned, I guess there are a lot of areas where, let's say, the problem of climate change can be tackled, Madam Speaker. And certainly, one of that area or one of the strategies maybe is to tackle the population aspect. I guess
the developed countries to reduce their population by, let's say, 5% in the next 10 years?
I guess that has to be considered.
What is
Meaning, I believe that will be doable.
Let's reduce the population by 5%.
Probably.
Or slow down.
Slow down a bit.
Yeah, but it's still continue. But that is where, if we have to connect population with carbon emission, that is where the attacks should be made. And not on countries in the Philippines, which is accounting for only 1/10 on a per capita basis of carbon emissions.
I would certainly agree.
Yeah, because otherwise, we'll be sacrificing a lot. Now, there are other factors, that is a very intricate matter. And that is the reason why I would fully agree that we should adjust upward the budget of the climate change commission to give them probably enable them to hire more scientists, to do more research. But definitely, ask them to take a very clear stand when negotiating on carbon emissions, so that we should stick to the philosophy that the bulk of carbon emissions, the bulk of all these anthropogenic causes of global warming, which is just a fraction of the totality, is due not to countries like the Philippines, not to countries like Indonesia or Malaysia and other countries, but because of countries like the United States, Japan, Western Europe, China, and of late India. And that should be the position that a good executive head of the Climate Change Commission should take, because if I'm not mistaken, he should be the one leading, representing the country in all these multilateral negotiations on global warming and climate change. Do we have the assurance from the Secretary Andres that is the position that he is going to take?
Absolutely.
But under those circumstances, should the Philippines be made to accept responsibility when the bulk of the responsibility should be on the shoulders of the developed countries?
Absolutely, Mr. Speaker. While we are advocating for developed countries to pay